You want freedom of choice. You
Think you're being subtle?
auntie's choice.
Stop! My records show you have an outstanding fine for past offenses. Pay...
Commander, if you'd like to have me handle this, I'm more than able.
I'm listening.
Give Auntie 2 bits, and she'll give you some new glitz. Give Auntie 5 bits, and she'll give you a facial spray.
Funny you should say that. I've been entertaining a theory this was a mere misunderstanding, and you were a trustworthy sort. Pleases me to see I had the right of it.
Capacitor unit away. Recharge before it discharges.
Self-betterment's too good.
Down. Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it.
Trouble ahead.
Time to settle account.
Causing that ruckus.
What's your big idea?
You would not refuse medical support.
Time to earn my commission.
Thank you.
Talking ammunition.
Medic, please.
You're beginning to chafe!
Swearing up.
You're no cop.
But there won't be. Call it quits. You're over leveraged.
Invest.
Time is capturing. Closing in. Rolling up my sleeves.
Hungry down.
We've got company, Commander, and friendly contact.
Investigating. I can buy and sell you. Regain sight.
Time to settle accounts.
Contact reestablished.
Going to investigate.
I win. Self. That's it.
No risk.
for you. Let us reconvene.
Not here to negotiate.
Quarry found.
From bottom runger to rock bottom. That's you.
If you're not our target consumer, you're just a target.
Recommencing hostilities.
Regulating me.
Contact reestablished. Reloading. Quarry found.
You're in my office now.
Covering my ass. Regain sight.
Back in business.
Hostile in proximity.
Aside from the stale chow, ubiquitous mud, contract anxiety, and pervasive dread that hostilities might resume at any moment, camp life is just splendid.
You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's choice.
Ah, Inez. Have you come back for a tune-up? I've got just...
No, I got a device that might help stabilize what I got going on up on the shoulder.
Oh. Well, this device is unusual and rather ingenious, if I may say so. Hold still, dear. This should take but a moment. There. I dare say you won't be needing any tune-ups in the near future, but I do trust you'll find an excuse to come by for the occasional visit. Where did you find such a device, anyhow? What is it, dear? You look, well, a bit like you've been stung by a terror ray. I've got ointment for that too, you know.
There's a grafting lab way out on Cloister that was still operational. Till recently. I found it, Doc. And... Law. I ain't seen any horrors like that.
Still operating? Inez, do you feel all right? The program was shut down more than 6 months ago. Any further funding would be in direct violation of Auntie's orders.
I know what I saw. They were brutalizing folk and creatures. Paying them no mind, giving them no honor, even if they succumb to the process. The doctor there, he killed a friend of mine. And you're telling me you knew nothing of it?
Inez, I swear I didn't. That sounds... Oh, Sovereign's mercy, that sounds precisely like what I would protest with every breath.
The creatures they were experimenting on broke out of their cages, killed most of the staff. But you know what's worse? Keeping a dead soldier's body on display. Like a thing. I found the doctor in charge, still alive, cowering. I killed him, and let his sick aims die along with him. There's no good that can come of his work. Nothing.
But this ain't the extent of it, I fear. I need to find out who's responsible for all
Oh, Inez, I know you do. But with the program officially shuttered, it would be awfully difficult to ascertain which individual has the pockets to fund such a... Wait. Yes, that does shed light on a correspondence I received recently. A vice president sent a message asking for my presence and scientific expertise to discuss a unique opportunity. I found the secrecy odd at the time, but I do suppose it lines up with your discovery. His name is Willard Conan, VP of Experimental Operations. The very man who was in charge of the grafting program at its inception. He's... Oh, I know that look. If you mean to do something, I beg you.
Doc, with all due respect, What I do with him when I get there is my own damn business.
I will help you. Vice President Conan's office is aboard the Undisputed Claim, the flagship of Auntie's Choice. I do not know where exactly, as I've never been, but it's my understanding that you will need to present this calling card to gain entry. Inez, all I ask is that you remain safe. A terrible wrong has been done, but do not throw your life away to right it. You might seek justice via other means.
I can't promise anything, Doc, but I'll try. Thank you for everything.
Don't move!
I don't much.
You're wanted for crimes against Auntie's Choice. Make ready your bits or make peace with the Architect. Now, just one moment. I'm simply doing my job here. Mayhaps I can budge on the amount, but you need to pay something or my supervisor will have my throat. Please don't. What say we forget the fine and you just let me go? Please?
We're saving these protectorate types from absolute oppression. But who's saving us from these void-blasted rifts? I'm serious. Those things got me all kinds of fearful. Yeah!
Auntie's Choice is the proud maker of Spacer's Chaw, Zero-G Brew, and antibiotics. Everything you need to get through your day.
Someday, when I make it big in lower middle management, I'm gonna come back here and buy this crummy Pimp Hut saloon. I'll hire that Charlton defector from Westport as the bartender. A bit slack in the wits, but he sure knows our products. Natural salesman.
Armed and ready.
Liquored up on artificial.
Grass tingling. All charged up.
Stun weapon ready, Commander. Your capacitor out. Get it while it's energized.
Quarry found. Under his
Whether it's an orifice
It is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times.
Liquidator!
Energy capacitor out. Energy is up for grabs. Beam weapon ready, Commander.
We've got company, Commander. And friendly.
Vitals critical. Don't become a statistic, Commander.
Let's stay alive. Replenishing my firearm.
Tomfoolery is this?
Down to stop them. Anybody see us?
Armed and ready.
For our beneficent leader. Paradigm predicted.
Ask for help, but help back in business.
Reporting in some neighborly suspicion rightly so.
Take a gander. Invasive aura.
Have an update about that. Commander, I've been thinking. Can I bend your ear a moment?
End the universe. The other universe-ending thing. Back at Winter's Grasp, I found someone was continuing Anais, Sir Bujold's research. Believe I have a lead. I wholly agree. I pieced together information from earlier leading to Golden Ridge on Dorado. I had Val set the location on our map. I recognize we're juggling multiple crises, but inquire away. I may even respond. Presiding Bishop Orlo, yes. Ruth Bassar's predecessor. And better. Now there. For a while, I'd hoped all this recent brouhaha, the schism, invasion, the rifts, was part of some. The more time passes, the less I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm missing a few key variables. Are you asking me to reveal details of high-level I doubt you're willing to offer me a thorough accounting of your past assignments. And I bet I'm not saying never, but we only just met, dear. Trust because all the good mathematical terms were already taken by my predecessors? Because I'm sure I don't know, dear. Whoever came up with that particular soap, hopefully by my hand. I tried to kill only when necessary. I assume that's in line with your thinking, too. Yes? Oh, here I thought you valued my analytical skills and strategic thinking. But all right, message received. Reprioritizing. Murder. May all our...
We got the intel we need, Commander. The undisputed claims our destination. When we find Willard and stop this law-damned program in its tracks, been doing some thinking about ending the grafting program for good. It's gotta happen. I didn't want to believe you about Auntie's choice. But you were right. Our overlords had a saying in Tau Ceti. If you got a rabid canid, you put it down before it maddens the whole pack. It was terrifying. But now, I reckon I see some sense in that saying. Retribution never came for the folk at the top back then. But it certainly can now. Good thing I've already gotten started then. I wonder if this is what Ortiz had in mind when he sent me that message. He trusted my judgment. Knew I always aimed to do right, but he also knew both of us had been lied to when we joined up. The notion that our taking extraordinary risks would pay dividends. Do you think he knew this would be the final straw? Yeah? I'm gonna cling to that notion for a while. Maybe this is what folk mean by the architects setting things in motion. Maybe this is what I was meant to do. Yeah.
I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion web. Now, how might we be of use to one another? Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to... Not by a factor of thousands. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. I'm sure I don't need to say this. But if...
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical. Now, with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. Faith is trust without evidence. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's my sensory deprivation chamber. I spend the majority of my days closed inside the silence, dulling myself against the tedious. It's a rather personal apparatus, customized to my biological. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station, confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station. Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. Yes, by all reports it was. But the plan evidently has greater outcomes prepared for Vicar Levin. He is, at that. I consider him a close. However, there's something of even greater. It's recently come to my attention that secret communications have been exchanged between Laplace's garden and the undisputed claim. Do you know anything about that? I should have known. Vicar Levin has made this appeal to me at least thrice since his return. He really cannot accept a solution he did not devise. Levin's methodology is usually fault. I will put the question to you one final time. Are you certain you would rather pursue this path than work exclusively with the Order? There will be no future option to reconsider. Then I will endeavor to bring that vision to fruition, if the plan wills it. A true in-person meeting between myself and Auntie could never take place due to the security. The odds of you persuading Auntie Cleo to agree are unfavorable. But the math does improve if you have greater standing within her corporation. Oh, I am well aware of your extracurriculars. You've certainly built out a commendable framework for this discussion. Once you have met with Auntie, instruct her to send me a communique. We can finesse the details. My time is yours, for the moment. Call it proof of Laplace's garden is more than its aesthetic. It offers a vision of a future free from the... It saddens me to see the garden so despoiled by our wartime presence. But with the loss of Spirton, necessity dictated... Oh, the Laureate Council simply draws a name out of a hat. Yes, there's a reason they call it the Mad... In reality, I was recommended for my position by the preceding bishop. Paired with my skills as a seer, I was the natural choice when it came time for the council to vote. Thank you for that charitable... My predecessor, presiding Bishop Orlo, and I counted him a friend. Orlo shared with me his doubts about the Order's partnership with the Protectorate. The compromise is made. He had many such regrets at the end of... Likely not. But it is the responsibility of every student to surpass their mentor in understanding and... May you achieve progress.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a...
Protectorate personnel, only beyond this point. Leave immediately. If you are not of the Protectorate.
Looks like a fight.
Appreciate it for clear that.
Capacitor unit away. Recharge before it's destroyed.
Have you considered
Hostile
that
ahead.
submitting
What's the
ourselves
play, Commander?
voluntarily is proof enough that we don't require it, and would in fact waste resources that could liquidate us back in business?
Replenishing.
Employing a thorough, methodical search pattern.
It's a pro! Consider self-preservation a priority.
Replenishing my firearm!
Energy capacitor out. Energy is up for grabs.
Yeah. Perfect society demands perfect thought.
What was...
Armed and ready.
Seeking cover!
Commander, throwing energy over.
Through his...
The console provides, the system abides.
the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology.
Refilling my weapon! Restoring the balance! Hastening to cover!
Well, there are many mental refreshment facilities.
I'm in the red, Commander.
Special.
It is personally overseen by head refreshment process.
Contact
more
re-established.
refreshing than ever.
Our enemies envy our prosperity.
Trust the plan. Preserve set progress. Sustain the system. Serve the sovereign. The console provides.
Time to earn my commission.
Scoping out a hostile.
Get it while it's energized.
Anyone else? Here, a medic?
Reviving me is strategically off the wall.
Sustain the system!
Back in business.
Look alive, Commander.
Prudence dictates we reject individualism in all its many forms.
Yeah.
Come in, come right in, and be refreshed.
Are you ready to realign with the paradigm? To shed all manner of imperfect thoughts?
All it takes is some light instruction, a restorative cocktail,
And a quick dip into the lathe of particularity to abrade your imperfections.
I'm Head Refresher Cool, and I guarantee when you exit our doors,
You'll be a productive member of our perfect society again. Soon you'll say,
goodbye, imperfect thoughts. Hello, contentment.
I don't know what in the void we just got hosed down with, but it's, kinda...
Greetings, subject. Or should I say, best to be.
And others are not.
Welcome to the Wellnetarium. You're not on my schedule. A walk-in, then. Wonderful.
This is all a mite strange.
Oh, you appear to have questions. A telltale sign of needing refreshment. Our facility's induction corridor is quite an experience, isn't it? A feast for the senses. Accompanying our head refresher's thought-lulling welcome is a musical score based off an inspirational composition partially hummed by the consul himself, and a brief spritz of our very own repriorigin gas to boost attentiveness and provide the perfect touch of compliancy to commence your treatment here. Head refresher Gould says mental refreshment increases tractability, stifles undue agitatement, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing. I've undergone the procedure myself. Several times, they say, and look at me now, never more content. Simply step over to my automechanical colleague to my left,
Greeting, subject unscheduled. Welcome to... Subjects are required to respond 100% accurately to all queries. Query 1. Concisely characterize your personal perspective. Incorrect. The accepted answer is, I fulfill my duty to the sovereign. As a loyal... Query 2. Rate your present level of zealous efficaciousness on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, 3 being a traitor, 1 being dead.
Remember, all subjects prosper under the...
Incorrect. Wait, processing. That was correct. No subject has ever answered that query accurately before to date. The degree of zealous efficaciousness expected of a dutiful and true subject of the Protectorate is beyond measure. Query 3. Do you ever fall prey to imperfect thoughts, including, but not limited to, doubt, disbelief, uncertainty, curiosity, recalcitrance, unacceptable, obsequious denial detected? A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Final query. How would your neighbors describe you? Unsatisfactory response. The appropriate reply was, they never questioned, never doubted. Their zeal never lagged. Formulating conclusion. Phrenometric matrix delineated. Subject evaluation score total, 200 out of 200. The acceptable amount for a true and dutiful Protectorate subject is 0. In conclusion, you are in dire need of mental refreshment. Now, proceed to the nearby pneumatic tube to collect your complimentary unitard and lift pass. Next, proceed. Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Remember, collective cognitive compliance is a key part of our perfect society. When we comply together, we thrive together.
My irregularities have all been abraded.
It is the duty of every Protectorate subject.
Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Trust me, the lathe of particularity does wonders.
That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies
have all been abraded,
and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
The console provides, the system abides.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process.
I do believe that's the first test I've ever failed.
Happy and contented, and others are not.
Greetings, new person. You have a look of query about you. I have answers to questions and no questions to answer. Hello, my name is Abigail, and I am realigned with the paradigm. Bright as rain, neighbor, never more content. I am newly full of zeal, free of imperfect thoughts. My mind is a thing of symmetry. My phrenometric peaks are all abraded. I only experience approved emotions. Doubt and worry are notably unsanctioned. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts, after all. Head Refresher Gould says his recorded lectures are key to thinking approved thoughts. He tells us what to think and what thoughts are unsanctioned. It's also very helpful. That, a restorative cocktail of pharmaceuticals, and a quick dip into the lathe of particularity device can abrade all imperfections. Only internally, I'm afraid. You should speak to Refreshment Facilitator Tilden in the lecture hall.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are
Just follow the signs to the lecture hall.
at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why
I once possessed a failing of character where I would voice simple statements in a way that sounded like a question. Drat! There. Did it again. Anyhow, I was reported for it? It is the duty of all protectorate subjects to regularly converse with our neighbors, so we may determine if their zeal has wavered.
Preserve said progress. Sustain the system.
Pondering begets disharmony. To deliberate is to court ruin. Notions are a gateway to mayhem. Refreshment is...
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process.
Medicament dispensement has concluded for today. Please proceed to the lecture hall to request an exception.
Settle down, everyone. Lecture's playing. Prepare to be edified.
For today's topic, we'll touch on why our program is so very important. Ignorant, misguided outsiders may wonder, why does the Protectorate need mental refreshment? Doesn't it inhibit personal freedom? Yet this freedom they celebrate is a yawning chaos, and their choice is an invitation to failure, loss, and anarchy. It is a sad fact that all human beings require direction. As my good friend the Consul would say, at its base, humanity unguided is cravenly, inept, and slothful. We of the Protectorate are not, because we do not allow ourselves to be. The paradigm charts our course, gives us purpose. The Consul is the firm hand that guides us. Mental refreshment keeps us on task, free from doubt, efficient, perfect, and thus we enjoy amity, luxury,
Great shifty-looking individual, if you ask me.
The system provides, the system abides.
The only thing that man's ever loved is the sound of his own voice.
They sneer at our contentment.
Aw, a new face. Well, I'd welcome you to the Wellnetarium, but the designated subject reader ought to have attended to that by now. I was once a victim of imperfect thoughts. Oh, I had so many questions. But my questioning days are long gone. Admitting you question is the first step in your recovery. But worry not. Soon enough, with our help and a little work, you've missed the daily medicament dispensement, if that's what you mean. But you should take that up with the medicament dispensement automech directly. I see you found the lecture as edifying as all the others here. Good. Head Refresher Gould provides us with daily lectures in audio cartridge form to steer group thinking. Upstairs in the audiovisual aids office, of course. Though that area is off limits to all subjects not a part. How very interesting. Here, take my pass then. It grants access to all mid-privileged priority areas.
That's why we are all
You must mean the lathe of particularity. One assumes you haven't had a session with Head Refresher Gould yet. You'll feel ever so much better once your phrenometric peak.
That went better than expected.
She sure ain't asking many questions. Though I figure that's the aim of this refreshment nonsense. Bastards.
mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia. Placid Waters Wellnetarium here on Prager is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive deviser responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment.
Combatant observed.
It's not just a good idea. It's
Sorta.
Pretty scathed, Commander. Help me end this fight on my capacitor deploy. Free energy if you can reach it.
Than the paradigm predicted.
Status susceptible to danger. Each. Engaging hostiles. Status susceptible
Back in business.
refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. Greeting, unscheduled walk-in.
Looking a little woozy there, Commander. Yeah.
And others are not.
Yeah.
Don't forget, your unthinking compliance lets the paradigm run with flawless efficiency. Unthinking is essential. Unthink today. Unthink tomorrow. Unthink forever.
Mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia. Placid waters, well-material. Here on Prager.
It is personally overseen by head refresher.
All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign.
Refreshment process
Got my
more
lamps on a hostile.
refreshing than ever.
You are the raw material for perfection. Subject to the most exalted vigilant. We must
Original, Commander! The pathogen unit away. Recharge before it discharges. Pushing ahead!
Best reload! Be a good neighbor! Stay in kind!
Replenishing my firearm!
Back in business.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia, Placid Waters Well-Material is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by head refresher Gould, the top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
You've gained privileged access somehow. Our superiors must have arranged it.
Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, into a thing of symmetry. Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
realignment with the paradigm begins
You
now.
tell you're in need of mental refreshment? I possess a particularly keen eye for such things.
Could have sworn no one was due for hours. Wherever is... Wait, you're not a patient. You're not even a protectorate subject.
He's the first person we've met here who doesn't seem a touch refreshed.
Well, out with it. Who are you? Such a brazen display of This presents a rare opportunity to hone my art. To what end are you here? Tell me truly. Speak plainly. For one of our adversaries, I have a proposal for you. I'll provide you what you wish if you debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology in a reasonably competent manner. There's a good sport. So, what of the Order, our former allies, those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in What I may find personally satisfying is irrelevant. I think first of my community. Though your point, while gratingly expressed, is noted, albeit grudgingly. What say you about Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? Their manipulations are crude, if not efficacious. The sugar-filled rubbish they consider food sounds truly disgusting. But to what end? For only the shallowest of goals, making bits. In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. People are unproductively prone to unhappiness. We remove this self-sabotaging flaw so they can fully appreciate the ample bounty we provide, free of doubt and worry. Oh, are we to debate the nature of self now? Of identity? I admit I've never submitted myself to the lathe of particularity, but, well, admit I assumed this conversation would be more engaging. Did you have any final points you'd like to make? As a, last chance to distinguish yourself? You don't think I'd send thousands through the process if I wasn't absolutely confident of it? Our subjects have never been... All right, fair enough. In that little battle of wits, one of us proved severely outmatched, and I'm not sure you're completely aware of which of us I'm referring to. I am deeply disappointed by your lack of intellectual prowess, though ultimately I'm not wholly surprised. Suppose that leaves one last thing.
Guards,
we have an intruder!
Improving position!
Packets are deployed. Free energy if you can reach it.
To reload!
Hey,
cover!
lay low, Commander.
That's tingling. All charged up.
Let the paradigm worry about tomorrow.
Trouble ahead.
What? The
Let me
reprobate!
handle this.
Don't hurt him, please. The Sovereign isn't at his best right now. You're not here to harm him, are you? If so, I must warn you, I will defend the Sovereign to the fullest extent of my meager abilities. Yes, it is. Our beneficent, infallible ruler, the Sovereign Henry Aloysius Varick, son of the first Sovereign, Reuben Varick. You'll have to forgive him right now. As I said, he is not his best today. Why, I'm his attendant, of course. I have seen to the Sovereign's personal needs since he was a mere, but of course vibrant and robust. We've been here since it was determined that the Sovereign, long distraught over the loss of his family, was in need of mental refreshment. Since then, he has been receiving dedicated treatment from head refresher Gould himself. Well, after his first session, the Sovereign was notably upset, launched into hysteric fits of paranoid ranting, absurd nonsense about how the consul had betrayed him and seized power. For his own good, he had to be gently but firmly restrained. That all stopped after his next dip into the lathe, thank law. He's remained quite peaceful since. I'm certain he'll be back to his old self in no time. Not at all. Why should I? One who questions betrays. No subject of the Protectorate would ever harm, or knowingly allow harm to befall our beneficent rule. To even think such a... This stately form before you is the direct descendant of the matriarch herself. I will stay true to him and the Protectorate to the end. The Sovereign is receiving the finest possible care as he has every day of his life. Just leave us be. Go. Please, just leave us. Just leave.
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, how mentally refreshed are you feeling? Noting dire self-diagnosis and ably displaying concern. My word. Inform the nearest refreshment facilitator without delay to book medicament dispensement. Has concluded for the day. Response. Medicaments are stored in medicament storage, the office in which this unit presently operates. Yet, farewell statement. May refreshment soon rent.
bleeding.
Go. Please, just leave us. Just leave.
Wait. I was led to believe my case required minimal treatment. But that last session, that was far more intensive.
Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement setting, per instructions.
Maximal? Who authorized you to use that setting? I demand the name of my betrayer!
Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Further abradement recommended.
Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
Right as rain.
Medicament dispensary has concluded for today. Please proceed to the lecture hall. To request an exception.
been abraded. To deliberate is to court ruin.
choice.
Tramicular, arriving any moment now.
Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy, while the Protectorate decide what its subjects get.
I see you're back from the Protectorate's little mind manipulation spell.
Our team at Proprietary Insight Acquisition has been salivating over the potential commercial applications of that process. Well, that will be needed. Sometimes a body count can't be helped.
Better in the ground than in our enemy's employ. Nice work, my ameliorator.
Now, I assume you won't mind we have a few questions about the process. Our people will extract details about the pharmacology and methodology. That will all no doubt prove useful, but we're most interested in the technology and its results. Can't say I like the sound of that. Seems like they'd be difficult to market to.
How truly unfortunate. Those without desire or drive make terrible customers. They could barely even be considered consumers at all.
What else can you tell us about the place? Turn up any additional details? Anything especially marketable?
Spacer's Choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stack the deck against the little person as they try to upset Tau Ceti.
That's certainly interesting. Intriguing, even. What else?
No, just like our sponsor Dustball team,
But still, they keep on marketing it as virtually foolproof, don't they? So much for their vaunted moral high ground. And so much for us exploiting that piece of technology. Oh, good to know, good to know. Excellent. Well, here's your reward, along with something extra for your effort. Too bad about the lead scientist. Converting him would have earned you an above-average payout. All right. For your next assignment, well, it's something of an organizational priority.
Congratulations. Your storied success has earned you a whole entire minute with our illustrious leader, Auntie Cleo.
So your preliminary chores are complete. Finally, a contractor with a little backbone. Normally they flee or expire, leaving the work woefully incomplete. I remember you from before. Fairfield, yes? Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization? It's true, the old corporations cared little for the individual, whereas I'd like to see each and every one of our employees rise from the refuse heap, like I did. Do hope you forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees fractious, like young ursopods cooped up in the den. So, you've been advancing a fairly radical idea with a group that, to date, we've considered our rivals. I received a most curious transmission from Ruth Bassar, presiding bishop of the order, proposing we discuss the prospect of our groups working together. She stated this was your idea. Between our top divisions, jealousy, hard feelings, really stirring the pot. A cessation of hostilities could present any number of potentially profitable options. Are you sure you'd rather pursue this over your current exclusive contract with us? Before I contact Ruth, Fine. I'll initiate a call with Ruth through a secure line in the conference room next door. Let's pick this up there. Don't keep me waiting. We can always do better. I'll give it to you straight in my quarterly underperformance review. First up. Excessive corporate malfeasance. The only division that earns us less when they work more. Ease off arbitration. Quite the bit. 14% in net growth. You're supposed to score. Look who it is, the instigator of this little affair. Her mathematicalness should be along soon, unless the leader of the order...
There we are. Apologies for the delay. We were resolving some...
Oh, yes! Regale us with a thorough account...
This must be Auntie Cleo's trademark wit. I expected better. If I was discourteous, I apologize. So long as our mediator proves up to the task, surely we can remain civil. If not, these negotiations may prove short indeed.
From where I'm positioned, I sense 3 sore points still in need. Point 1, control of the archive. Point 2, oversight of production and distribution of skip cores. And point 3, management of Rift technology.
Before we go any further, I want it in writing that the Order will take full control of the archive.
What? So the Order can set it fruitlessly idling for another few centuries?
I would sever my own hand before giving custody of the archive over to a corporation. Humanity's ascension depends on its calculations. No, such a condition is out of the question.
I am amenable to that proposition. Less work on our part.
I'm waiting to hear an argument that would support such a ludicrous proposal.
No one said anything about paying, but...
Involving money in science seems questionable. But having access to Auntie's resources would be useful for our research. Fine.
Ruth, I commend you for being so receptive. And I assure you that Auntie's Choice values science. Nothing bad has ever happened when science and commerce are combined.
On the subject of science, it would be most prudent for us to discuss who will be overseeing the management of...
No one understands production like we do. Besides which, we have...
Where Auntie's Choice manages, the Order would undoubtedly excel. Do not exclude us from consideration merely...
So you ramp up production? And then what? Hand skip drives out for free to...
We would be diligent about who we licensed out the skip drives to. And a monopoly over space travel is precisely what I wish to avoid. This technology should benefit all humanity. Correctly ascertained.
I disagree completely. Just look at how well the Order protected its own assets. Remember Golden Ridge, the archive? Besides, the Order will inevitably leave money on the table. Pull my other leg. If Auntie's Choice doesn't make a profit from it, I literally couldn't care less. Well, I never accept a deal I don't like. And frankly, you've been becoming... We can end these negotiations at any time, you know. It seems Auntie's Choice stands little to gain from them.
You ask the Order to compromise yet again. If I did not have such... I do not like the potential futures that may result. But there is a reason the margin of error...
Yes, Auntie's Choice is full of surprises. You can...
There is still the question of who takes possession of the Protectorate's Rift technology once the war is finished. Although the science is still largely theoretical, this technology could be used to not only...
The Order would fritter away valuable time endlessly hand-wringing what to do with the technology. Auntie's Choice would actually use it. For good, of course. In a gainful manner. A 50-50 split? But that's so... equal. I generally consider anything less than a majority as practically a loss. But fine. If Ruth's open to it, I believe I can agree on the general terms here. And, well, we can haggle.
I shall look forward to brokering the math with you, Cleo. There is one final matter I wish to discuss. I require some chemicals that I have been told are manufactured at a plant on Praetor.
I know which plant you're referring to, Ruth, and what comes out of it is hot. Out of professional curiosity, what could you possibly need with such danger?
That is, quite frankly, none of your concern.
Precisely. Partners don't withhold secrets, although they can and probably should.
I will make no progress with my request without... While the archive is an infinitely complex machine, an equally complex apparatus has been designed which allows one to... Unfortunately, this headgear exacts a rather tremendous cost on the wearer. A certain panacea is needed to survive it. But I require these chemicals. Perhaps I have not been entirely forthright. This treatment will enact a permanent change in my personality. Irreversible. But it will not cost me...
And I thought we were the ones who threw caution to the wind. Oh, well, Ruth, if worst comes to worst, I'd be happy to serve as a substitute.
A generous offer. But I fear you lack a certain number of qualifications. Conscience, for example. That math is confidential. But I have enough reason to believe the outcome... I did not anticipate needing to fight for my own physical autonomy. But...
Oh, how it's delightful to me to see you squirm. All right. I'll get you your weird. Best I'll say is today's outcome is... workable. Barely.
Arriving at any arrangement, even remotely equitable, was statistically improbable. Be glad our mediator managed to find a middle path forward. As am I. You certainly have a way of curved...
Well, that'll be all for today. Don't forget to purchase the latest in Auntie's Choice products out on the value-added Esplanade. And do come see me personally when you have time.
One moment. There are still the logistics of recapturing the archive to consider.
We'll, of course, provide our expert troops to support these efforts. Have your people call my people to sort deep.
Brusque as ever. Auntie's troopers will certainly help us manage the Protectorate forces easier. But it would be irrational to expect you to endanger your own life without a more specific strategy in place. Fortunately, I have already given... First, we must reclaim Spyreton from the enemy. Spyreton once served as the Order's headquarters. More importantly, there is a lift located in Spyreton which can deliver our troop. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the archive, however. So fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the archive. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. Until the Order has control over the archive again, this discussion... May you achieve progress.
That was some damn fine intermediation, Commander. You might just have a future in finance. You know, after Auntie and the Order trounce the Protectorate.
Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice of... Society is based upon, not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to what you want. Your decisions as conservators...
It's high time one of you scientist types responded to my calling cards. The position's been open for more than 2 days. You want the role, it's yours.
Let me guess. You're backfilling Rasmussen's position? Or all the scientists who...
Both, obviously. Unless you mean... do you want the job or not? We're burning Starlight.
We allow you
I do. Been waiting on this moment. This grafting program is a law-damned abomination. I went to your lab on Cloister, saw for myself what kind of depravity your folk got up to there. It's sick. My friend was butchered by Rasmussen. And he wasn't the only one. In fact, there ain't nothing good that's come of...
What a preposterous notion. Shall we stop producing inhalers because of side effects? Or shut down all food factories because one severed appendage finds its way into packaging? No, certainly not. I am not to blame for whatever inconvenience you experienced as a first edition patient. To quit now would be to toss aside all our progress. My law, you really mean it, don't you? There'll be no beatings here. I think there's something about the program that you should know.
Don't matter to me what your plans are, or what you think you might accomplish. You've hurt too many good folk, and I've had enough.
I fear you've gotten too negative an impression of this work. Hear me out, will you? Allow me to assuage those fears. Are you a fool? We cannot speak of sensitive business details here. Meet me in back deck steerage. Take this pass for the tram. And for law's sake, make sure no hanger-on. Chin up, dear. I believe I'll change your mind.
We'll see. Seen this song and dance from all manner of suits before. Reckon he'll try to reel us into a ridiculous scheme, or bribe us with bits or booze or what have you. But this'll make it easier for us to intimidate the bastard into stepping down. Oh, I relish the notion.
Far less stressful. Oh, I just received an addendum on a late-breaking and quite literal termination. Dr. Rasmussen, new site sanitation.
The story of Auntie Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stacked the deck against the little person, as they tried with us at Tau Ceti. But did Auntie Cleo take Spacer's choice devious shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsored tossball team, the Auntie Cleo's darlings refused to do when things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Spacers Chosen.
I'm Jean Turfer-Tyler, 6th base person for the Auntie Cleo's Darlings. I cleaved Spacers Chosen's goal.
Ah, you came. Foolish, aren't you? Thinking I'd reveal my secret. Contractors, now's your chance. First one to kill these... Time to earn my...
Enemy moving into harm's way.
Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized. Stun weapon ready, Commander.
I knew you'd come through, my good Biff. That discount will be applied to your next purchase at the... Ah! You! You're still alive!
Ain't gonna be that easy to get rid of us, you idiot. This how you treat all folk who approach you in good faith?
No folk have ever made it this far. How did you get past all my contractors? They were heavily trained and heavily expensive.
They were about half as coordinated as a herd of sprats, and just as threatening.
Do not make a mockery of the dead. They were all someone's children, partners, and investments. So what do you want? Allow me to guess. Money? We all want money. And I've plenty, I assure you. This again? What is it with you? No! I've no incentive to shut down my life's work, especially at the demand of common thugs.
You ever seen a grafted claw strip flesh from the bones of a stubborn old man?
No.
Well, on the count of 3, you will. 1.
All right, fine. Consider this my resignation. Here, take everything I have. Any bits left in my office are yours. Just, please, don't follow me.
Good riddance. But this ain't over yet. The other executives will be notified the moment Willard flees the undisputed claim. And within hours, it's all but certain that they'll claim his work for their own and make his bastardization of a grafting program all the worse if they so choose. Ain't about to let that happen. Ain't too keen to scorch the earth if I can help it. Oftentimes, bad press can be a hell of... It's obvious he was up to his neck in some scheme. If we dig it up and get the word out, should all but guarantee that Willard can't come crawling out from whatever rock he's keen to hide under, in any case. You and I both know that's not true. Might be enough to sway some folk. No. The only feelings a sob story inspires round these parts are feelings of relief and misplaced superiority. Unless there's a bit to be made. All right. We ought to start by searching his office. Once we got what we need, we can head to the recording studio to get...
Malfeasance if you don't look for it.
Live, love, laugh, purchase, and consume
with Auntie's Choice. As your peerless leader, known for her unparalleled business acumen, I might appear above the occasional frivolity. But no, I do enjoy spectating a rousing sporting match as much as all of you base rank and file. The Big Rift cut off tossball news from home, but our Arcadia-grown league is a worthy substitute. Certainly a more profitable program than the Protectorate's watered-down rip-off. Pitchball, they call it. My, how imaginative. And don't get me started on their auditors. human billboards. Of course, I also enjoy the simple pleasure of watching professional athletes bludgeon each other. Such a relatable interest. See, subordinates, I'm just like...
Yes, I understand I may look in charge, but I'm just minding the...
I need to get a message on the
Not unless you need any clever pointers on enunciation. Our director...
was specifically founded to fight what nature influences. Yeah! Higher quality
Welcome to Wireless Free Arcadia Studios. Thessaly Fogg.
Holt sent me to speak with you. I got a message I'd like to send out over the wireless.
Is that so? Well, however, as you're without an appointment and I'm quite busy, I'm afraid I've only time to record one take.
Glad we're in agreement. I'm here to expose the truth about a prominent vice...
That's quite the bold claim. Now remember to speak into the mic, dear. Joining us today in the studio is a very special guest, and one who alleges that one of Auntie's own vice...
Inez Seelong speaking. I got intel on an illegal program led by Vice President of Experimental Operations, Willard Conan. Folk aplenty suffered because of it.
Some say there cannot be success without suffering. It's more or less standard operating procedure, isn't it? Unless you're leaving out any gory details. Some within our organization might call that frugal. Thrifty, even.
These are human beings I'm speaking of, not barrels of void damserain. But if that ain't incriminating enough for you, Willard had himself some money problems.
Now we're getting somewhere. Tell me, did he squander all his bits on drink? Bet it all on a tarmac and cheese rebranding?
I imagine it was so he could keep his illegal program running, but ain't clear on where the...
Well, that tells us nothing. You're very new to this kind of business, aren't you? Your disclosure wasn't as iniquitous or revelatory.
Commander, I don't think we did enough. Law.
Oh, Inez, almost forgot. We have a bit of a goodie bag for special guests who visit the studio.
Sometimes you can score a body goal without an offsides hug. Play by the rules.
I'm damn glad we could get Auntie's choice and the order to make peace with one another. Reckon this news will give the... Anyhow, was there something you needed, Commander? How personal are we talking? Yeah, I want to say up front that I got nothing against you or but the Earth Directorate itself, it's got much to answer for. Right. They're the reason you had to stare down the gun barrel of someone you once called. The Earth Directorate swore a promise to every colony out there. But that's all a heap of shit. You know how many of us in Tau Ceti tried to send messages? They never responded. Never showed up. Not when I was a child, certainly not by the time Auntie's choice came around. You ask me, you're selling folk a lie. I know that. I see you doing all you... Look, I ain't holding you to account for the Earth Directorate's ills. No matter how often I'm hit in the face with that fact, with you, with Ethel, it's rather easy to forget it, nor do I.
Welcome to your new role as Site Sanitation Manager, Doc. Next, we have Reginald Oswald in proprietary insight acquisition.
Have time for a chat, Commander? Commander, you hear my interview over the wireless too? I really thought I'd be heard out, telling folk about Willard and his damned awful dealings. Instead, Thessaly herself thought to mock me. I can't reckon with it. To you, maybe. But to a lot of folks, I ain't meaning to say I don't appreciate your help, Commander. I do. Guess I was just hoping that we'd have done enough to keep more folk from getting hurt. Like Ortiz did. This was my fight. The blame lays with me, if it's to lay with anyone. I still feel like a fool sometimes. I spent so much law-damn time begging to be validated. I really believed when I ended my contract that a better life was possible. So yeah, a better life is possible. Just not at someone else's mercy. I ain't gonna let myself or anyone else be led into the same trap they set for us. I will, Commander. Anyhow, that's enough sorting my thoughts for the moment.